Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your April monthly horoscope for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to our channel, we'd be delighted if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you've got some big things going on in your life and you'd like some expert guidance, why not check out my one-to-one testimonials by seeing the link below. It's one of the most enriching parts of my work, working in this way. If you'd like to ascend above your zodiac sign in an affordable way and find out more about what really makes you tick, please check out my personal horoscope reports. There's a special offer on a year's forecast and also a character analysis, 30% off. Please see the link below. Hello Taurus, and welcome to your in-depth monthly horoscope for April. Now, as this month begins, the Sun and your ruler Venus are connected in a very reserved part of your situation. This could give you a little bit of an appetite to spend some time thinking very carefully about your options. If you're someone who's got a particular interest or aptitude in personal development or healing, this can be a very enriching phase of the year. And it's going to be emphasized even more from the 4th, when Mercury, the planet of communication, also moves into the 12th house. If there's anything you want to really research, and that could take some time, it could be, for example, your family tree, or if you're interested in a business project, doing the deep dive into the details to get all the facts and figures together could prove to be very gratifying. But also, you could find yourself pulled to spend time in nature, because Mars, the planet of drive, is in the part of your horoscope that's very much in keeping with the essential characteristics of your sign, so the second solar house. And Mars is going to be there through to the 22nd. Now, Mars in this location can also give you an instinct to enjoy the good things in life. So whether it is nice food, nice wine, those calorific, gooey goodies that I certainly find very hard to resist at times, these things could call out to you. But because Mars in the first 10 days is forging a link to Venus, your ruler, but Venus is in that confidential zone, is there somebody that you're going to find very evocative in terms of your romantic situation? Because in the first third of this month, a relationship that begins that is quite at least confidential, maybe it could be clandestine, maybe it's going to be one that's linked to a past involvement, is very possible. So you could be attracted to someone who's very mysterious, not completely available, but where the sexual chemistry can actually be very strong. But it is true to say that from the 4th through to the 14th, Mars is in a very illusory link with Neptune. So if you are drawn to somebody, and it is, you know, with the potential in your mind to work towards something that could be part of your future situation, you just need to be realistic that Neptune and Mars in a square is almost like the trickster influence bar none. So in other words, it can see us or see you thinking about your future where Neptune is in a way which is raising your hopes, but I think it can be linked very much to your desires. So if someone's spectacularly generous, if they are very at ease with intimacy, or they are someone who's rather well heeled, it could be a very evocative and tempting prospect for you. But I'd also like to say that on the 12th, the Aries new moon links with the powerful forces of Pluto, which is in your sector of truth, travel, higher knowledge. And because the Sun is in that 12th house, which can be to do with secrets, it can be to do with secret enemies, I can only be truthful, and there is a square from Pluto to the Sun, I just think when it comes to the politics of anything to do with a legal matter, so if you're involved in litigation of any kind, or someone's let you down and you're taking them to a small or local court for some kind of retribution or some kind of rebalancing, just be conscious of the politics of the situation. In other words, how much will it cost? Will you actually be successful? Will it cause you more pain and upset by pursuing something? Because I think it is possible that someone could use some nefarious methods which aren't necessarily about fairness. It's about them protecting their situation. Also, in week 2, Venus, your ruler, is in that square with Pluto. So somebody linked to an overseas place, someone who's a bit unusual, someone who's very knowledgeable. They might be someone who can impress you with the breadth of their background academically, or with the way they've travelled around the world. Again, that could be someone that you find very, very tempting. But just, again, check out what the true motives are. Now, in weeks 2 and 3, the Sun is actually forging an incredibly positive link to Mars. So if there is somebody that you're working with in a quiet way, behind the scenes, to improve your financial matter, but it's where there is a good balance between the flow of energies or responsibilities and obligations each of you have, this could be something that's very, very good for your finances. So it doesn't follow that everything that you're doing quietly, confidentially, is necessarily got a catch. That's not true at all. Just watch out if it's anything which veers off local rules, regulations, you know, anything about taxation and stuff like that, because Pluto is very much about that kind of stuff. Just stay on the straight and narrow wherever the rules are in whichever territory, state or country that you live in. But the 14th of this month is a wonderful moment for you, because Venus moves into your sign. And when Venus comes into our own sign, we move very much into the moment. So if there has been a parting of the ways, either in the last 10 days of March or the first 2 weeks of this month, it's going to enable you to draw a line in the sand and feel much more positive about what your future will hold. Or if you're single, you may go from that dalliance, which may have been fun, but was never really going to go anywhere, even if it fulfilled a need or fulfilled a need for you. Once Venus moves into your sign, don't be surprised by some dramatic developments from then through to the end of the month, because your magnetism, your electric magnetism, which is very sultry and very strong anyway, is going to be turned up to max by the devilish energies of Uranus. Because in the last week of this month, Venus and Uranus are going to be side by side, and that can see sudden and quick moving things happen in your love life. It also can see you very inventive when it comes to using your talents and creativity and flair to make money, because Venus governs money as much as relationships. But on the 19th, the lovely thing is that the Sun and Mercury move into your sign. And I think if you have, even from the 14th, still felt a bit marooned, a bit withdrawn, a bit unsure about some people's motives or where they're really coming from, once you get to the 19th, your energy is really going to manifest in a much more potent way. You're going to feel a spark of dynamism comes in, which really delights you. Now, the Sun moves at 8:34 Universal Central Time on the 19th, but having Mercury so close to it can see you also thinking quickly. So you're going to go from a period where you may have felt a little bit unsure, maybe a bit indecisive, even anxious, to one where you suddenly take something that's been propagating on the back burner, you can take it, bring it into the here and now, and it can go whoosh forwards, because the Sun, Mercury and Venus are all electrified by the radiant energies of Uranus in this last phase of the month. It's really, really exciting. The 23rd to the 26th, Mercury goes alongside Uranus. Now, you may surprise yourself, Taurus, because your reputation is someone who's immensely stable in your life patterns. You appreciate familiarity, you appreciate consistency. You're someone that people can rely upon. But sometimes life, when we have a pattern or mode of being that is so regular can obviously become a little jaded because it doesn't have any fresh energy or new impetus. So all this electric vibration of Uranus gives you the opportunity to show, as I said before, some devilment, you know, to surprise people by breaking out of something that's very restrictive. For example, if you are in a job that just doesn't give you much sense of creativity or flair, and you want to do something that's much more individualistic, this would be a fine time to think about working for yourself, to be honest. Or it could be that in a relationship, if it's become all about the workaday schedules, even if you get on perfectly harmoniously, this could be a great time with Venus in your sign to give yourself a glamorous makeover. You know, hopefully hairdressers, nail bars, eyebrow bars, all this kind of stuff are going to be reopening at this time. And if you have an opportunity to remold your public persona, take it, because it will give your confidence a huge lift. Also, the 23rd sees Mars move into Cancer. So for the following 6 weeks, your physical vitality will really go up several notches. In a technical sense, Mars in Cancer is not at its best. It can be a bit defensive, and you may need to be aware that when it comes to your ideas or your belief systems, you could be quite defensive about them in that following 6 weeks. But equally, Mars moving into Cancer can see you more active, particularly around swimming. It's an obvious analogy, isn't it, because of the wateriness of Cancer, but the activity that Mars brings, or going for walks by rivers, lakes, the sea, would be perfect timing. But also, if you're someone who does want to share your message to a wider audience, whether it's through vlogging, TikTok, blogs, whatever medium or modality suits you, then Mars will really help you from the 23rd. Now, the 27th is all about relationships, to be perfectly honest, because you may encounter someone in the following 2 weeks who thinks you're being too radical. They can't believe, where are you getting all these ideas from? You've been doing this, you've been going to this club for years. What do you mean you don't want to do this job that you've done for the last 10 years? You could be really rocking the boat. And that could be a very, in some ways, uncomfortable process. Not just for other people, but for you. But the other people may not realise that actually you desperately need to do this for yourself in order for you to feel that you're alive and that you're revitalising yourself and rejuvenating yourself into being a very relevant force for how your life is now, not how it used to be. So Uranus is going to have a profound influence on you. It has been having a profound influence on anyone who's got planets or the sun in the early part of Taurus, so the first 10 degrees. It's been having a radical impact over the last 3 years. And, you know, it's going to have an even greater impact on all the other Taurans right through for the next 6 years. So the particular full moon that we have in Scorpio, which of course is very passionate, on the 27th, could bring up somebody who doesn't like the fact that you're making this strike for greater independence, freedom, or you're surprising people by doing something that's really different. Or it could be that someone's going to surprise you by changing something or wanting to do something differently. And the key with Uranus in Taurus, which is not its favourite location, it's in full, is to not be too hidebound, to not only stick with what you know and refuse outright to consider any other way of doing things, whether it's the stuff you eat, the stuff you watch on the box, the type of films or series you watch, type of activities or interests you have. Keep an open mind, because that's going to bring so much extra elevation and a higher frequency to your existence as this month draws to a close. But it's a very, very, very exciting last 2 weeks, but especially last 10 days for you. Take care, goodbye, good luck.